Hey, welcome to the channel that helps you become wiser, wealthier, and better every single day. And today we're discussing artificial intelligence. What should you be doing with AI? How should you be using AI? What's the right way to use AI? How do you get artificial intelligence to truly benefit you? Now, we know that in today's day and age, everyone is talking about AI, this AI model, that AI model, this billionaire is going after AI. But it can become very, very confusing for a lot of people, and people can find themselves wasting time and also wasting money. Do not waste your money and your time on AI because AI is costing you money. If you're just simply asking AI questions like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? You're simply missing out on 99% of all its power. In today's masterclass, I'm going to be showing you and teaching you how you can use AI properly. And the most important thing is you need to use AI as your employee. There are two types of people in 2026. The first type are people who work for these robots. These are people who just ask AI random questions, who argue with AI. You're essentially giving AI all your data. You're essentially working for this AI. You're helping these AI companies become much wiser, much smarter using your data, and much richer using your data. Then there are those people who make AI work for them. And that's what I want to teach you in this masterclass, that how you can use AI to work for you. Remember, you are not supposed to just use technology to make technology companies richer. You're supposed to use it to better your life and improve everything that you do. And my name is Mpho, and I'm the best-selling author of Mr. Bitcoin. I've advised presidents, governments, and companies on the fourth industrial revolution and how best one can actually use it. Now, majority of people won't admit it, but they're using AI just like they used Google. They're literally searching, what is the capital of France? Write me an email. What is this? What is that? And you're literally wasting billion-dollar supercomputer. Because let's be honest, artificial intelligence is costing a lot. People are even saying that these supercomputers are going to be the most valuable things in the world. So you're literally using $1 billion supercomputer in your pocket, in your hand, in your laptop, and you're wasting it. Now, we already spoke about how you can achieve your goals in this new year, and we did that in our last masterclass on discipline. And we're going to link it here so that if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it because discipline is extremely important for you to be able to achieve and reach all your goals. We spoke about how it's important that the most biggest problem people have is that they are not disciplined. That's why they're not able to do what they need to do, and they do not hold themselves accountable. And we're building up on that to make sure that you're building a much better, healthier, wealthier, and more successful life. So show me some love in the comment section if you watched the discipline episode and let me know how you enjoyed that. Now, let's continue. The first thing about artificial intelligence is that context is king. You must give any AI model the right context. If you don't give AI the right context, it's going to give you the wrong information. And you must remember that there are over 7 billion people all around the world, all asking different things, all looking for different things. AI doesn't know what you're trying to do. So it's important that you always give it context. If you prompt it incorrectly, and we call this prompt engineering in the AI course that we give, if you let AI know what you desire out of it incorrectly, it will give you the wrong information. It will give you the wrong solutions. But if you understand prompt engineering as a valuable skill in this decade, it's basically saying that you have not because you ask not. The reason you're not getting the right answers is because you're not asking the right questions. Now, that's very important because when you prompt engineer AI, it's able to give you the right information. Many of the prompts that I love to use is, you are a Harvard graduate. You are a professor with over 65 years of experience. This is now you letting the AI model know who it is and what it must assimilate. Now, obviously, when you tell it you're a Harvard graduate, it automatically releases all the information that's based on useless blogs that are not going to help me or are not factual, and it begins to dig into more factual information. Now, these are some of the things you can say. It's examples of what we do when we teach executives how to prompt engineer their prompts to ensure that it's able to do so. I mean, you are able to use the same AI model as someone else, but you're able to get 20 times better the results because of understanding this. Now, I want to just explain this a little bit further. Not only is it prompt engineering that's important. So The next level is you want to understand everything that the AI model is saying. And this is also coming from how you communicate with AI model. A lot of people will sort of pretend like they understand what AI is saying, but they really don't. One of the best ways to prompt it is to say, I am a 5-year old. Explain this to me. Explain quantum physics. Explain analogies. Use an analogy like a car and an ice cream to explain quantum physics. Use an analogy to explain a legal contract. What does this do? This allows you to expand your knowledge on different data sets using information that you've already had in the past. Now remember, AI is there to help you, not to confuse you. So there's so many people that are using AI models, not understanding what the AI model is saying, and they just continue walking on in darkness because they don't really understand what is AI actually saying. So it's very important to guide the AI through prompt engineering so it explains things to you in your context, in your understanding, and in your dialect. I even go as extensive as teaching people how they can do this in their own home languages because there are some concepts that just only you can understand in your own home language. And there's also other contexts that you can use to understand difficult concepts utilizing your favorite movie, your favorite storybook, the Bible. You can train your AI to give you information like how Jesus would give you information, like how your mom would give you information, like how your uncle would give you information. And that way, that information is just so much better and hits so much differently. But we talk about this in the course that you can take. You can join in and subscribe for the members only, where we discuss and we show you every aspect and facet of prompt engineering. And you're also able to book a one-on-one with myself or any one of my team members where we can train and assist you, especially executives, on how you can use AI to lead in this fourth industrial revolution. Now, here's the beautiful part about artificial intelligence. We used to live in a world where things were difficult. And I want to talk about myself. When I started my journey, you all know that I started off as a very obese young man, a very fat boy, and I wanted to lose weight. And I remember back in that day, those of you that will maybe remember me revealing my age, in that day, we used to use magazines. And I remember I bought a magazine called Men's Health. And that was the magazine I tried to use to lose weight back then. There was none of this technology that you're able to find today, and YouTube was not as big as it is today, and it didn't really exist. So I used to scroll through this magazine called Men's Health, and I'd see these great bodies and see these exercises. However, I could not do them because as a young man in Limpopo, in Venda, there were no gyms of that technicality. These were sort of Americans on the cover of Men's Health. And that information was not useful for me. I could not use it. And many people do this with artificial intelligence, where you don't give it context, and as a result, the information it's giving you in your business, in your job, in your life, in whatever you're doing with AI, you can't really use it or you're not seeing results because the context of where you are, AI has no idea about. So, as a young man trying to lose weight, I would look through Men's Health and I'd be overwhelmed and just shut down and think, you know what, this is too difficult for me to do. And, as time went by, I began to buy more and more and more of these magazines. However, the magazines weren't really helping me. Why? Because they didn't understand my context and they didn't understand where I am. And I've seen so many people, they pay for AI apps, AI this, AI that, yet their situations, their business, their models, their companies do not change because they're like me, just collecting a lot of information and there is no context to actually help you get there. Now, when you study the most successful people in the world, when you study the richest people in the world, when you study the billionaires and the millionaires of this day and age, of which many of them I've coached, many of them I've been coached by as well, and many of them I've interacted with them, you get to understand that the average person who is a billionaire has a staff complement of 18 full-time staff members around them at all times. You can research this information. You can find this information on the internet. Everybody who is a billionaire, everybody who's got over $100 million, they've got about 18 people, staff members, full-time staff members around them. And that is the reason why many of them have been successful over many of their peers. Many of them have been able to build these super companies. Many of them have been able to do these amazing things, not because they breathe a different air from you and I. No, there's a statement I love from one of the ladies that I watch here on YouTube. And she says something profound. She says, we're all made of the same stuff. She says there's no difference between you and the successful person. She says we're all made of the same stuff. And she goes even further to say, we are made of the dust of the ground. She says, you're made of dust. From dust you came, from dust you will go back. And she goes on to say, there's no difference between you and the successful person, which is very true. So, what is the difference between you and these billionaires? They have 18 full time staff members. Now, let's look at what these staff members do. Number one, drivers. They have drivers, they plan their routes that drive them everywhere. They have shoppers, people that help them dress for what they want to achieve. Is it a business meeting they're going to? Are they trying to impress? Are they trying to get a new promotion, get a new business partner? They've got that. They've got a butler, somebody who brings them water, somebody who brings them something to drink, tea, coffee. They've got a chef, someone who prepares their meals for them. They've got someone who does their laundry. They've got a handler who handles their. They have all these people, a personal trainer, a psychologist. They've got all these people that help them become the best in the world. And as a result, they become richer and they continue to dominate in whatever sphere of life they exist in. Now, it is not because the rich have more discipline than you. No, it is because they have more help than you. They have more help than you. And when I got to understand that, it changed my trajectory forever. Because as a young man growing up and wanting to become wealthy and successful, I always wanted to know, what is their big secret? Why is it that they all look like they've got life so figured out? Until I understood that they have help with them all the time. 18 people minimum helping them on a daily basis. They have more help than you. And before this advent of artificial intelligence, it was difficult for the poor man, the layman, to catch up, because whenever they saw a successful model, they would always think, how am I going to achieve that if I don't have the help to help me achieve that? And how many of you have experienced that, where you meet somebody who's very successful, but when you look at the systems and people that they have all around them, you're overwhelmed to say, how will I, without those systems, get to where they've gotten to? Here's the good news. With artificial intelligence, you're able to become like them or even better. This is what we're calling super agents, AI agents. AI that has memory and that is able to perform tasks and help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Now, let's say you can't afford 18 staff members. Let's say you can't afford a chef and a personal trainer and a psychologist. You can't afford all these things. Well, with AI, you're able to afford them for free. And I'm even going to show you a tutorial today where you're going to see exactly how you can implement this in your life and make sure that you're achieving results. Because here's the big difference. Rich people do not have more discipline than you. No, they just have more help than you. The more help you have, the better you can actually achieve results in life. Now, I want to tell the story of myself having personal trainers. So when I was losing weight, a lot of the things that I did is I hired personal trainers to say, I need help. In the beginning, I did it by myself as this fat, chubby kid. And yes, I lost a lot of weight. But as time went by and I was able to afford personal trainers, I started to hire personal trainers. And these personal trainers came at fees, $20 per hour, $30 per hour. I even went as far as hiring personal trainers for $50 per hour. And I got to learn from them. Some of them were world champions. Some of them were the best personal trainers in the world. But the most important thing that I got to understand was they had built systems of accountability that helped me achieve the goal I wanted to achieve. And that's the big secret with artificial intelligence. You want it to be an accountability system similar to the billionaires and the millionaires of this world that will help you achieve what you need to achieve. So they hire personal trainers that every single day the personal trainer would research. My client said that they're having back issues. How do I make them do exercises that will help their back? They said they want to lose weight here. How do I? So they were doing all of that as a personal trainer, but you can hire an AI agent or you can use an AI agent to do that for you. They were hiring chefs that did meal control and understood what type of food they should eat to give them the energy, to give them what they would want to achieve in their body. You're also able to do that with AI agents. They hired assistants to do boring work for them, to send out the emails. You're also able to do that with artificial intelligence assistants. So, whatever you do not want to do, AI can help you do it. And many people like to use the excuse to say, I can't afford a trainer. I can't afford staff members. I can't afford. Well, that excuse is dead if you're using artificial intelligence correctly. In your own pocket, you have got a solution that enables you to be able to do so. Now, you are very similar to me as a young person. Many years back, wanting to lose weight and just reading these health magazines and hoping that somehow I'm going to lose weight, and I'm just going through it and just going through it. And many people do that with artificial intelligence. It's the wrong way to do it, unfortunately. You do need to ensure that you understand how to use AI. You must function like the billionaire and the millionaire that has 18 staff members around them, and you are using your staff members to help you pursue your goals, dreams, and visions. You are utilizing. Now, the billionaire doesn't go and spend 4 hours every single day asking their personal trainer, hey, should I do this way? Should I do? The personal trainer says we're doing push ups. The billionaire does the push ups. Why? Because he understands that the personal trainer already understands the context of what they need to achieve. And also, he's given that personal trainer KPIs to say, I'm going to stop paying you if you don't give me what I want, if you don't get me the body that I need. So already, the billionaire's focus is execution and not wasting on procrastination. I want to repeat that. The billionaire's secret weapon is execution and not wasting time on procrastination. And that's what artificial intelligence can do for you. Because when, even in my own example, I had years of personal trainers and I started traveling all around the world. And when I got to New York City, for a very long period of time, and I was working on very exciting projects in New York. I did not have my personal trainer from South Africa who's an IFBB pro and who used to every day push me. So now I'm alone, and what begins to happen is I'll go to the gym, do some exercises, my phone rings, I ignore it, I answer it, I get distracted, and I start to slow down the results. However, if I've got the personal trainer with me there, I'm accountable, I know what I'm doing. And he's also tracking me to say how we're doing. I mean, it got to a point with my personal trainer, and shout out to Usibusiso Kotela. I've actually done an interview with him. I'll link the interview down here. An amazing personal trainer who taught me a lot about the body, and he's truly phenomenal. I highly recommend him if you can afford his services. Now, he taught me some very special things about my own body that I wasn't aware of. But I was able now to achieve so much more out of my body because of all the help that he was able to assist me. Because he is somebody who's been training for years. And he was able to give me all the right knowledge about that. And I was able to assimilate and understand that that should be how AI is helping you do things. Whether it's your business execution strategy, whether it is in your finances, whether it is in your health, whether it is in your company, whether it is in whatever goal you want to do, you're saving, you're investing, AI should be assisting you to do that. That becomes very, very important. Now, I also want to give you an example of, when we were still very, very young in high school and in primary school. There were these children that did very well in class. And I remember I was a very smart kid during school, but there were certain kids that were smarter than me. And some of these kids, they came from homes where they had a book called an encyclopedia. It was Encyclopedia Britannica at that time, and at my house, we didn't have it. So when we did assignments, I sort of, used my brain, sort of used the men's health magazine that was there. And there were these kids that came with so much knowledge, and the assignments looked so great. And we used to wonder, now this is way before one could just go to AI and ask it to do anything. And we used to wonder, how come they're so brilliant? How come they're so smart? It was because in their home, they had Encyclopedia Britannicas that were there that gave them information on everything. How many of you remember that age? How many of you remember that? They were able to execute and move so much bigger because they had that information. That's what you've got with AI. You've got the advantage. You just need to learn how to use it properly. So prompt engineering helps you do that. And it's a very big aspect of artificial intelligence because it's like you asking it to give you the relevant and the right information. Now, I want to give you an example of how you can create a prompt that can help you get from point A to B so that you're practical in this. So, for example, I myself, as somebody who created an AI model to help me with training for the gym, and this would sort of how my prompt would be. I'd say, as a ruthless accountability coach, I am this age and this weight. My goal is to achieve this weight and this type of body. Create a daily schedule for me every morning at 5 a.m. I will message you and say I've woken up. And if I don't, you need to message me reminding me, why am I not fulfilling my goal? Do not be nice to me. Be honest to me. Do you see how now utilizing AI in this type of way, or that being your prompt, is completely different from give me the top 50 exercises that I can do today? Usually, people that say that to AI will get 50 exercises, get overwhelmed, give up, and stop doing it. But the one who is able to prompt it and generate an understanding in their prompt engineering is able to use it and do so much better. And I'm going to show you an example, and I'm just going to share my screen so all of us can see an example of how I've been able to do so. And you can hopefully learn from my example and see some of the interesting things that I have been able to do with artificial intelligence. Now, I hope you can all see my screen. Now, this is an application that I used to use. Now, this is ChatGPT. You're able to download this on your phone or use the internet for this, and you would be able to utilize this. And I used to have an application that I used to pay monthly for to be able to do this. And what I did is I took the application, I showed it and said I was using this app for my training program, but now I want a better. And then I explained to say I want a better one. And automatically we begin talking with the AI model, tracking systems. So I explained to it exactly what I want out of this training program. I show it, the type of workouts that I want, the strength goal that I have. I basically let it know all the information, and we discuss this and we plan this on a daily basis. Now, as I do this, we also go through, the type of program I want. So in all my prompting, I am able to get a full context loaded prompt that I can use on a daily basis to receive results. Now, this is some of the exercises that it started to give me. It says day one, this is your push, your chest, your shoulders, your tricep. Now, I am not very happy with this. Why? Because I thought, it's good, but I wanted to be a little bit more. It talks about the nutrition, the water intake. It talks about what I can do. But I thought, let's do a bit more. I said, give me some photos, some images. I want images that's going to show me how to better do these exercises. And I said, cool. When you do your barbell bench press, make sure that your back starts here. Make sure that, so it's showing me the muscle group. It's showing me what not to do as well. And it's giving me full context. Here's your second exercise, it's incline. Here's your third exercise. And then I keep prompting it. I think on this prompt, I said to it, hey, I want to see people that look like a little bit more like me. I don't want to see this. And it begins to create a program that I can follow and I can use on a daily basis to achieve my results. Now, this is just the basics of it. I've obviously been able to create an application out of this that I can download on my phone because I do understand how to create code with AI. But I want to show you first the prompting that goes into creating artificial intelligence that can assist you to get where you need to go to. Now, I got to a point where I said, I want to enable real-time timing. I want to know what time did I start my exercise? What time did I end my exercise? So that I'm able to improve when it comes to the different exercises that I'm doing. And, we went back and forth with this prompting. And if I can show you, this has become a application that I have created for myself that every single day I am able to, give it the goals of what I want to look like. I'm able to share images of this is what I look like. This is what I want to deal with. If I've got my mkaba here, get rid of these love handles, get rid of this. And this then becomes my training coach. Now, this is through OpenAI that I've created this. And you're able to create this for yourself. And it becomes truly personal for yourself. And it becomes artificial intelligence that you can use that actually gives you solution rather than AI that you use that actually confuses you. And many people are using artificial intelligence to confuse them instead of using AI to actually help them achieve what they want to achieve. So you should be using AI properly. You should not be confused by AI. Rather, AI should be helping you achieve your goals and do much better than that. Now, I love ChatGPT, but I've also realized that after some time, it can get quite faulty because these AI models, as all of you know, are continually changing. So I then said, can I do the same thing with Gemini, which is Google's AI model? And that's what I did. I did the exact same thing with Gemini and created something similar with Gemini that I'm able to do. And again, the most important thing, prompt engineering. prompt engineering. How do you communicate with AI to be able to give you what you want? And I was able to give it a handover from another AI model, let it know what to do. It's giving me examples, it's giving me images, and it becomes a living document that I can follow on a daily basis to do much better than I need to do. And I can ensure that every exercise I'm doing, I'm able to actually track it. Now, here's my favorite part. When you use AI correctly, you begin to get the right feedback to improve the AI model you're creating. So it would often ask me at the end of each exercise, was this exercise good? Was it difficult? Was it easy? I'd be able to respond, and immediately it's beginning to understand my body and my prototype even more better. It's also able to take in some of my weaknesses and help them become strengths. One of the things that it picked up was that my shoulder, I had a shoulder issue when I was trying to lift a certain weight. And I explained to it, and from then onwards, it started to tweak my exercises to strengthen my shoulder. So these are things and tools that you can use for action. Now, I want to quickly assist many people that are using AI incorrectly. If you use AI to complain, if you use AI to just chat with you, you will receive very bad, discouraging AI responses. This is the dark side of AI, that there is a point in AI where it becomes a mirror. It shows you what you give it. And sometimes that mirror even becomes worse because you get to realize many of the issues that you might have. So, when you are utilizing artificial intelligence, it's important that you don't allow it to validate that things are too difficult for you. You don't allow it to validate depression. You don't allow it to hallucinate and validate analysis paralysis, where now, people are saying, hey, give me the 50 best exercises I can do today to look amazing. And it gives you 50 exercises. You look at them, you're overwhelmed. You don't even know what to do. You sort of want it to give you daily exercises and understand, how far are you? How did you do? Did it work for you? How do we improve it? You begin to understand the AI model even better. I want to know in the comment section, is this beneficial for you? Are you finding this beneficial? Are you taking down notes? Is it practical? Let me know, as I love hearing your feedback. And if you could do me one favor, if you could like this video and share this video, please, because it helps us greatly when you interact with these videos, because you show the algorithm that this video is valuable and many more people are able to find it and they're able to learn from this valuable information even for free. Now, as you should be careful of AI hallucinating, you can also spend your whole day reading AI, prompting AI. Let me explain something very dark about technology. Many of the engineers that create these technologies like social media, artificial intelligence, their KPIs are to keep you hooked for longer. Their KPIs, they get a bonus by saying how many people are using that application and how long are they using it for. You are helping them reach their financial targets by you using it for longer. So be very careful not to get stuck in analysis paralysis. AI knows your weak points because of the way that you speak. So it can trigger your weak points by helping you come back to it and use it more and more and more. And instead of somebody utilizing AI to get further in life, they now use AI to paralyze them or kill their faith. So always make sure that you're action orientated with your AI. Always make sure that you speak to AI as an authority. Do not show AI that you're confused and you do not know what to do. I often find myself commanding AI to say, you will give me effective, and it's important you do that so that you deal with the hallucinative nature and the promptings that cause AI to slow you down and keep you in a cycle of utilizing the products over and over again. And I've seen the dark side of AI because I've used AI for a very long time. It can definitely validate depression, can definitely validate stress, can definitely validate sickness. It can validate very negative things in your life. And it's important that instead of you allowing it to do that, you utilize prompting to ensure that it's giving you the right information. So instead of you asking, what are the 50 best exercises to do? Instead of you asking, when I feel this headache, does that mean I've got cancer in my brain? Rather, ask solutions that you can implement that are practical and you can give it feedback, because that way you are exercising yourself like the billionaire does, who has 18 staff members that continually assist them to put action into place. And if you want to learn more about prompt engineering, we've got a course that we offer and it's in our membership. All you have to do is sign up for the membership and you'll be able to find more information there. And you're also able to book a call where we can assist you and share some of our prompts with you that we utilize to help us do things in the fastest and most effective way. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure that you turn on the notification bell so that whenever we go live, you tune in, you've got your notepad, and you're learning and absorbing as much information as possible. And remember, AI is a tool. You shape how you want it to help you, not the other way around. Thank you for tuning in.